Welcome out to the show tonight, guys. Studio 321. This is your host, Eddie B. So, guys, listen, I want you to imagine a scenario for a second, okay? Imagine we're on the brink of destruction, right? We're going to start a huge war. Something's going on in the world. I don't know. Maybe we're getting alien invaded, whatever. Just something massive. We need real leadership. We've got to have the best minds get together and figure out this problem. Then I want you to imagine Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and then for the icing on the cake, I want you to vision Kamala Harris in the office with them as well. And they're all sitting there, and our country is counting on them to make the decision to save us. Could anybody imagine that? I can't. As a matter of fact, I think I'd just go ahead and kill myself. Because, look, there's been this whole thing going on the last couple of days. The Democrats are angry now about, Trump didn't share all this intel with them about he was going to bomb these nuclear sites. But honestly, I mean, can you imagine that? What would they be able to contribute to any of that? And bigger than that, the whole Democratic Party at this point. None of them can be trusted. They couldn't be trusted with that information. I'm almost 100% sure if he would have briefed all of those people, that group as well as your normal Democrats as well, just briefed them all in a room, that would have 100% leaked out. As a matter of fact, Iran would have been waiting on us over there to come and try to shoot us down because they would have known. Look, And the reason I bring the squad out is because, look, the whole Democratic Party right now is in shambles. Everybody's just fight whatever Trump does, no matter how good it is. But here's the thing. I don't think a lot of them would cross that line, but the squad, they would cross that line. They would leak that information, which is considered treason, but they wouldn't care. They'd leak it somehow, just to get to the enemies, just so they could say, Trump was wrong or Trump failed, or I'm telling you, they're that nuts. Okay. And look, I would have, I kind of found it insulting, honestly. Like I was watching Jasmine Crockett today talk about, in her regular ghetto tone, how Trump should have let her know about this decision.
And to understand enough about the Constitution to the extent that I'm the one that's supposed to make the fucking decision or at least get a vote. Because Ron is telling me. Right. So literally, like,
Listen, man, I wouldn't let her know about the taco store on the corner. I'm telling you, she's that much of a moron. And, look, I've done other videos picking on her. I did a previous video on her, how she, tends to act like a stripper and this and that. And I don't normally just over and over pick on people, man. But, she keeps giving me the ammunition over and over again. Like just when you think she says something so dumb and ghetto that somebody would probably tell her, hey, look, why don't you just go sit back and let things cool off for a while? Just when you think that happens, no, she just comes out and does something stupid again. She's not a professional. I don't know why she's in government. I can't understand that. If I was in her district, I would either vote her out or move out of that district because that's embarrassing. Okay? And it's Texas, by the way. How does she get elected to anything in Texas? That's insane to me. But look, here's the thing. The way that party operates now, it's not even I don't even consider them serious governors. I don't at all. I think they're like children. They've reduced themselves to children. And here's the thing. You can say what you want about Nancy Pelosi. I've always hated Nancy Pelosi. I have, because she's such a pain in the butt. And she's so she's manipulative and she's super smart and she's just a pain in the butt. But look, if you're running a political party and you want a savage in there to fight the other side, Nancy Pelosi is the kind of person you want. But she's obviously now, she's over the hill. She's done. She's not even coming out in the forefront very much anymore, right? So Obviously, they got to come up with somebody new. Hakeem Jeffries is terrible. He's an idiot. He's no good at anything. So they really don't have a leader. But this is the thing. When Nancy Pelosi was the boss, everybody knew, like, if you do anything wrong in that party, you're getting a call by her the next day. You know what I mean? When she was the boss, she kept the party in line. She kept the radicals in line. Everybody was in lockstep. They never would really say things out of turn. Like if one person said it, they all said it, And now they're just running around like a bunch of nutbags, okay? And then, of course, you got the left-wingers of the party, which is the squad. Your AOCs, your Jasmine Crockett's. They're just running out, blurting out anything that comes out of their mouth. It's like they just woke up and thought of something and ran out to the press, And it's terrible. Again, I love to watch them fail. I do, because, I'm a Republican, but it is embarrassing. I mean, I still would like to have like a decent opposition party that governs like adults. I mean, because, people everywhere around the world, people see this stuff. It's not just us that sees all this weird behavior and dumb stuff that these people are doing. Okay? So, I don't know, man. But I'm saying this. I wouldn't have told them anything anyways. Now, he's covered under the War Powers Act. There's the little gray area in there. Was he allowed to drop the bombs? Was he not allowed? Again, I said this in a previous podcast. President has 60 days where he can take on an imminent threat to the United States or our war fighters, okay? They believed that the nuclear facilities were about to come online, and so that becomes an imminent threat to the United States. They've said over and over again they would love to, nuke the United States or nuke Israel, and we have a lot of Americans in Israel as well. So, again, is he going to be covered by the War Powers Act? Yes. The impeachment's a joke. It's not going to go anywhere. And I even saw Nancy Pelosi on there tonight talking about they shouldn't impeach. But see here, she's gotten so weak now. She's getting very fickle. She doesn't sound very good. So they're steamrolling her. The lefties in her party right now are steamrolling her, and it's just making the party fall apart worse. Which, look, again, I love that, but I'm just saying it's really embarrassing when people who were elected, okay, to lead the country can't even make basic governing decisions. Okay, I mean, like this Jasmine Crockett. It's annoying. I watched her say that earlier. Like, why didn't the president, consult me? And I'm thinking to myself, man, I wouldn't consult you for anything. You're a moron. But whatever, man. That's her district has to live with her, and I guess that's just the way it goes. But again, these people cannot be trusted. They can't be trusted with national security stuff. Any classified stuff, I'm telling you, they'd leak it in a heartbeat just to get back at them, no matter how bad it hurt the United States. And that's terrible because, once you get up to that certain level during war, during things of national security, you're supposed to all come back together and be the team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might fight later on, whatever, but you got to be a unified team against the enemy. Think about it, right? That's like, let's say your brother goes out and he's fighting the neighbor, right? Well, your brother might be wrong, but you're still going to jump in and your whole family's going to help out, right? Now, when it's all said and done, when you get back in the house, you and your brother might have a problem, but when there's somebody else, you come together as a family and you work against them as the enemy, right? Democrats are not doing that right now. They are the enemy of the United States. They are. The way they behave, man, it's I don't know, but I think leaving them out of this was the right thing to do. And it should be a reflection on their party and their trust, because nobody trusts them right now. I don't trust them. I know Trump doesn't trust them, and nobody should, because the whole crap we went through with Joe Biden, all the lies for years and years and just lie after lie and setups, they should not be trusted. I wouldn't trust them with anything like this, especially when you have American pilots' lives on the line, American soldiers' lives on the line. I don't think so, man. So maybe you guys should take a look in the mirror and try to figure out what's wrong with your party and stop blaming Trump for not including you in the meetings. This is Eddie from Studio 321. You guys have a good night.